Madam Speaker, we had the first 8 minutes of the affirmative case telling us why there's a need to actually have parents that love their children. On the negative side of the House, we agree. What the affirmative side of the entire 8 minutes failed to talk about was the fact that under their system, we see the institutionalisation and the placing of children who would otherwise be in foster homes into orphanages. I don't think they even said the word orphanage in their entire first affirmative speech. Because we are grounded in reality, we strongly oppose the following motion. I have 2 points to rebuttal. First of all, the practical outcomes of the affirmative model for children. Second of all, how they want to rehabilitate families. Start with 7 minutes. First of all, this first idea of the practical outcomes of the affirmative model. So we have the steps as follows. Step 1, we'll intervene to stop the issues. They listed gambling, they listed alcoholism. We'll do that too. We think that having families that aren't gambling addicts and aren't alcoholics and don't sexually abuse kids is also good in the negative side of the house. So we move to their second step, which is look for immediate family members. Once again, negative also agree. We think that, being able to pass a kid onto a godparent or a grandfather or an auntie or uncle is also a good system because they have an emotional bond. Step 3, try to get them adopted. Once again, on the negative side, we agree. We think that the ability to put kids into an adoptive family also helps the child's development. We strongly agree because we believe in parental bonds. But wait, the step they didn't talk about was by removing foster care, they forced children to be placed into orphanages and into an institutionalisation. And that's where the debate lies, whether a foster care situation is superior to an orphanage. And we strongly believe that a foster care home is much better. They've neglected to even talk about it in this debate. They said we're going to place them in the state, that's all we heard. So we also heard the idea in terms of their model, which is that they wanted to keep siblings together because they value emotional bonds. Once again, we think that emotional bonds are an intrinsic part of the system, and we're willing to stand up for that furthermore. Going on, we had the 3 types of foster carers. First of all, they said that most foster carers are good, but don't worry about that. Then they talked about foster carers, they just can't concentrate. They're going to go on holidays, they're just going to leave for 6 months and stuff like that. Towards this, we said that foster parents have a responsibility to their children that is upheld to the fact that they have to be paid to do their foster caring, and if they screw up, we think we're going to stop them from being able to do that and move them to a better foster caring situation. The second group they talked about is that they're just in it for the money. I think that if I was going to scam people out of money, I would do it in a better way than raising kids for about a decade and making minimum wages and actually losing money because they actually grow an emotional bond to people. Not a great way to make money. Not a real businessman sort of model. Final one, which was foster carers just bringing kids to abuse them. We reject that flatly. We don't think that's the case. On to the second point of rebuttal, which is that they can rehabilitate families. It started 7 minutes. I don't really know what to do about it. So towards this, all we can really say is that we would also love to rehabilitate families. And we think that a lot of these cases, it just cannot be done. We think that the children who are placed in foster care, they simply don't have any other family. We think that the circumstances that led to them being placed in foster care were so great, so horrendous, and so egregious that there is no way to come back. In cases where we think, for instance, if it's a single parent that's been sent to jail and the child can't exist in that scenario and the parent comes out and been rehabilitated, we would also love to be able to have the kid go back to their own loving parents. We'd love that. 2 points of substantive, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, the state's responsibility to attempt to find all parenting figures in all parenting situations. Second of all, my second point of substantive will be that foster care is best for the children who are placed into it. On to this first idea of the state's responsibility. So what is the aim? We think the aim of all these sort of layers, which was pretty much their model, is be able to replicate the best situation of loving parents. Obviously on this side of the house, we'd love every single kid to have 2 loving parents. We think that'd be a whole hunky-dory. That's not the reality of the situation, ladies and gentlemen. And so far as possible, we'll give more money to the foster care situation. Obviously, we don't think that the entire foster care situation is perfect today. We think it's far better than the orphanage and institutionalised situation that the affirmative team have been advocating in this debate. And also, we encourage adoption, we encourage all those things, as well as other matters of putting kids into families. So, what mechanisms exist? We have normal parents, and then we go to guardians, then we go godparents, then grandfathers, aunties, uncles, their mom. Cool stuff. But why does the government actually seek to uphold this principle? We think that they recognise that the best way to develop a child is via a parental figure. And we think that, for instance, a godparent, not everyone's godfather here knows them that well, not everyone's grandfather knows them that well, but we still think that placing them in that emotional bond with the person is something that's important, despite the fact you don't really have a personal connection to that person in all cases. But furthermore, we try to keep them, together as much as possible. So in a lot of cases of broken families, we still